Assalamu alaikum, everybody. We covered present tense charge, past tense charge, past passive, present passive. We gave you all the 14
Alright,
families.
everybody. Now,
We gave you 14 families of different patterns, looking at their past tense, present tense, and their passives. I think now the only thing that we really have left in looking at the world of verbs is making something into a command. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands in Quran a lot, either commanding us Muslims, commanding to Ahl al-Kitab, commanding the messengers, and that concept is very important for us to understand. How do you take these verbs and turn, just like how we took the present tense chart and did some massaging to it and make into a present passive. Same thing with past tense chart and made it into a past passive. We are going to be taking our present tense chart and commanding with it. Now, why present tense chart? Because number one, only present tense is used to command somebody. You don't command somebody in past. Okay, so these are some of the basically guidelines that you must have, that you only command somebody who is you only command people in present tense. You don't say do it, or was it, right? You tell a person to do it. Don't command something in past, because it's gone. You can't command them anymore, and we can't go in the past and command them and come back. But anyways, so you got present tense is important. Now other is, you don't command somebody. You don't command yourself. You don't command ourselves. You command somebody who's in front of you. You don't command somebody who's away from you, because if he's away from you and he's he, she, both of them, all of them, all of those women are not going to listen to you. They might not listen to you even if they're in front of you, but especially when they're far from you, they're not going to listen to you. So the second key is, you got to have a second person to command. That's the key. Now, present tense and second person. So let's take our chart of Sami'a Yasma'u, and then we have Tasma'u. So basically it is Tasma'u, Tasma'ani, Tasma'una. Don't worry about Yasma'u or Asma'u. This is all you need to learn your commands. And this is Tasma'ina. So again, we're just taking the part of our Tasma'ani. We're taking part of our our 14 grid chart that we have, and Tasma'na, and we're gonna make it into a command. How do we do this? Now, first thing is, what you have to do is take out the indication of present tense, which is indication of second person, which in this case is ta. Ta is always indication, so just take out the ta. Okay, so in this case we are going to take out the ta. Take out the ta. Boom. We don't do the same thing. All right. Next is what I like to call it is sukunofied. Okay, basically put a sukun at the end. Sukun is like where there's a silent sound. Okay, this guy right here. There's no fatha, dhamma, kasra on the last letter, so this guy becomes tasma. Okay, tasma. Now, or basically, if there was a ta over here, it will be tasma. Tasma will become tasma. Now for a dual, you just take out the noon sound. Okay, take out the noon sound. And for plural, again, take out the noon sound, but you would put an alif over here. Okay, because just to indicate that you took out something from here. Tasma'u. You don't pronounce this alif. In this case, you're not going to add another alif over here, because there's already an alif over here. Again, over here, you take out the noon. And there was a ya over here, so that basically becomes something like this. It was tasma. Okay, and you don't. If I omit this noon, it will look just like this guy, a huwa version, or the anta. So for antunna, you leave the noon. That's just the way it is. They're complicated, and you keep it the way it is. Okay. So now that you have taken out the ta, the indication of second person, you have taken out you have sukunified the ending, then now what you need to do is let's see. Can I pronounce this word? Why can't I pronounce it? Because it has a sukun over here. You have to have something in order to pronounce the word. So basically, if there's a sukun over here, you're gonna put an alif. Okay, you're gonna put an alif over here because they all have sukun. You can't say sma. You have to have an alif. Now the next question is, what do I put on this alif? So then you look at the second last letter. This has a fatha on it. Okay, if it had a dhamma on it, you would put a dhamma on it. If anything else, you would just put a kasra. So this will become isma, isma, isma'ul. All of you, listen. Isma'i, hey you women, listen to me. Isma'na. All of you women, listen. Isma'na. Isma. Okay, that's how you would take something and make it into a command. Now let's look at how do I make something else. So this was an example where where there's a sukun on the, after I took out the ta, I got a sukun, and then I put an alif, and what letter goes on the alif, we figure that one out. Now so this in this case, yasma'u, the second last letter, the meme had a fatha, and we took the alif and we put a kasra on it. Now let's look at yadribu or tadribu. Tadribu. Okay, you take this out, put a sukun. Take this ta out. Okay, let's erase this. And the dad over here has a sukun, so you're gonna add an alif over here. What haraka goes on it? I said if there was a dhamma on the second last letter, in this case it's not, you put a kasra. Idrib. Okay. Let's look at another one. We said yansuru, nasara yansuru. Okay, so that becomes tansuru. Tansuru. Sukun over here. Take out the ta, and then you add an alif over here. What haraka goes on alif? Because this has a dhamma, you put a dhamma over here. It becomes unsur. And after that, you just follow the same thing. Unsur, unsura, unsuru. If you wanted to tell many people to listen up, you're going to say unsuru. Okay? Unsuri, you women, listen to me. And then unsurna, all of you women, listen. That's how you make something command. So let's look at another example of some of the crazy families or the longer families. So we had allama yu'allimu. So yu'allimu becomes tu'allimu. Tu'allimu. What do I do over here? Take out the ta. Put a sukun on meme. And this obviously ayn, now since it's by itself, it will look something like this. Okay. Now, so we took out the ta, put the sukun on, and then you look at it. Now, this first letter, does it have a haraka on it? Yes, it does. So now you don't have to have an alif. Just say allim. Allim, that's it. And then, so now let's look at yujahidu. Yujahidu. What do I do over here? Take out the ya. Take out the ta, basically. This is second person. Put a sukun over here. That's it. Jahid. If you're telling one person, do jihad, struggle, you say jahid. If you want to tell many people, you'll say jahidu. How do we get that? Because remember I said it's tujahidu, tujahidani, tujahiduna, right? So if that's the case, first thing is you take out the ta, take out the noon, right? And this alif automatic, this is the part of the writing, it comes here. And now you read it. Jahidu. Okay, you don't need to add an alif over here. So let's look at another example. Then let's look at ta'allama. Yata'allamu, which becomes tata'allamu. Tata'allamu. What do? Take out the ta, put a sukun over here. ta'allam. That means learn. Ta'allama yata'allamu is to learn. Ta'allama, he learned. Yata'allamu, he learns. Tata'allamu, you learn. Ta'allam, learn. That's basically commanding. Ta'allam, learn. And but now there's an exception. Okay, the exception is aslama yuslimu family. So we have yuslimu. If I follow the so then basically yuslimu becomes tuslimu, but we have to take out this ta and put a sukun over here and add an alif, because sin has a sukun on it, so you can't pronounce it. If you add an alif over here, now the key was you basically have, if this letter has the second last letter has a dhamma on it, you put a dhamma on it. If it has anything else, you put a kasra. But in this case, you're not going to say islim. You're going to say aslim. Why is that? That's just part of the aslama yuslimu family. Any word that follows the pattern of aslama yuslimu, like akhbara yukhbiru, anzala yunzilu, it will follow this way of command by you saying aslim. So let's write these some notes down over here. And let me see if I can even write this down. How does that work? Okay. So this is how I would do it. And let me make the font bigger. Okay. Number one. Take out so first thing is only second person. Number two, present tense. That's by default. You have to have second person to make something into a command, and it has to be present tense. Number three, it has to be now the first step is, let's do that. A. Take out the ta of second person. Ta'allam. So basically, tasma'u, take out the ta. B is sukunify the last letter. So in this case, basically, what you would do is the ayn will, yasma'u, the ayn will get a sukun. C is look at the first letter. If it has no sukun, then you are done. If not, if it doesn't have sukun on the first letter, basically what's left after you took out the ta, then if it does have sukun, add alif. If the second last letter has pesh or dhamma, then add dhamma. Otherwise, kasra. F. If from aslama, yuslimu family, add, put fatha on alif. So let's follow this criteria that we just put down. So this is basically all you need to know in order to make something into a. So first thing is make sure that it's present tense. Okay, so let's take yanqalibu, but I want second person. Okay, fine, tanqalibu. So let's do tanqalibu. My instruction says take out the ta of second person, which is this guy, this ta. Take that out. The second thing, it says sukunify the last letter. Okay, fine. Let's do that. Let's put a sukun on it. tanqalib. Look at the first letter. If it has no sukoon, okay, then you're done. But in this case, we do have a sukoon. I do see a sukoon, a very obvious one. Okay, fine. If it does have sukoon, add alif. Okay. If the second last letter has dhamma, this lam has a dhamma, no. Okay. So then add dhamma, otherwise kasra. Inqalib, we're done. And then the F is of course saying that if it was from an aslama yuslimu family, then you would put a fatha on alif. And inqalaba yanqalibu is not aslama yuslimu family. So that's that. Let's do another one. Let's do if you want to tell somebody to do, all of you guys, do istighfar to Allah, right? So first thing is, how do you, so istaghfara yastaghfiru, it becomes tas, says tastaghfiru. Following this, and let's do tastaghfiruna. Let's do tastaghfiruna. Astaghfiruna. Okay. First thing is they're saying take out the ta. Fine. Take out the ta. Sukunify the last. Okay, fine. Tastaghfiru. We'll take out the last, and sukunify tastaghfiru. Look at the first letter. If it has no sukun, no, we have a sukun, then add an alif. Okay. If the second last letter, in this case it's not ra, because remember this wow is just part of the noon that we took off. That's istaghfiruna, but basically it's the fa that we were talking about. That's the second last letter. Okay, the second last letter had dhamma, then add dhamma. Nope, it has a kasra, so we'll add a kasra over here. Okay, because it's not a dhamma. So it's going to be istaghfiru. If you want to tell many people to do istighfar, you say istaghfiru, right? And now you might be saying, well, this alif might be confusing because it could mean I ask forgiveness. No, it doesn't, because it's going to be astaghfiru. That's how you say astaghfirullah. Istaghfara yastaghfiru, and that yastaghfiru means he asked for forgiveness, and astaghfiru means I ask for forgiveness. So in this case, no. The fatha is the indication of me doing an action, right? Astaghfiru. That's how you would say I ask for forgiveness. But if you say istaghfir, it means you person make forgiveness. Ask Allah for forgiveness. Istaghfiru, then that'll be all of you ask for forgiveness. That's how you would make something. So if you just follow this step that we just right here in this box, that will make you an expert at making something into a command. And with that, we'll end. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.